It's good to see you back today.
Oh, I'm so glad to be back, indeed.
Bonjour Afulaki.
Bonjour,
Comment vous
Stéphane.
allez?
Très bien.
Yeah, last week we had Ismail,
Yes.
and he did a great job.
Yeah,
he did a great. I think
yeah.
you should have a talk about it
Yeah,
as
indeed.
well. Yeah. Anyway, what are you talking about
Well, today I'm going to be doing updates across the continent as regards travel and tourism. Now, the first I have here has to do with Flight Center Travel Group, who has advised the South Africans traveling to Europe to, over the festive season, to remain vigilant and take extra care. Now, the firm says that South Africans need to be extra cautious, especially attending events, visiting popular tourist spots, and using public transport, or even going to places of worship. The alert comes after the U.S. State Department last week advised citizens traveling in Europe to be aware of the heightened risk of terrorist attacks now during the holiday season. Now, the warning cited that credible information that Islamic State of Iraq and Levant, that is the ISIL, and the Daesh, Al-Qaeda and their affiliates continues to plan terrorist attacks in Europe now, with the focus of upcoming holidays and the associated events. Now, the alert was issued with immediate effect until February 2017. And then in Egypt, stepping up the use of travel ban against dissidents. At least 6 activists, lawyers and journalists have been banned from traveling outside the country in the last week. Rights groups say that 217 people were banned from traveling between June 2014 and September 2017. Now, some had their personal asset frozen. The reports further stated that 117 of them were critics of the government.
Well, in fact, that just reminds me, in my press review, I was talking about one, she's a feminist who's been who was arrested
Yes.
in Egypt, and together with other activists who are been involved in the case that she's been alleged of committing, they've been banned from traveling outside
Indeed,
Egypt.
it's not just that. The other activists further said that the restrictions are part of a wider move by President Abdelaziz to silence opponents and to erase opponents the freedom won in 2011 with the uprising that ended Hosni Mubarak's 30-year rule. On the lighter note, the Best Western has opened its first serviced apartment property in Africa. Now, the executive residence by the Best Western Nairobi offers 48 residents service apartments featuring 1- and 2-bedroom apartments or suites, as you may have it. Apartments are equipped with full kitchen, living room area and dining area, office, washer, dryers, and all of eye access to internet access, and flat screen TV, not to forget. Housekeeping and breakfast are offered daily. Amenities include fitness center, heated indoor swimming pools, and a meeting room that could serve up to like 60 guests. Not to forget that the Groove rooftop serves local and international cuisines with cocktails with city view.
That brings me to the question, with all those amenities, how much do they go for, or how much can one rent an apartment for?
Well, that we don't have for now. It's not been disclosed yet. Well, maybe with the coming weeks.
Of course.
Yeah. So, still in Kenya, over 200 tourists arrived at Mombasa port aboard a cruise ship last Tuesday as high season began. Now, the 216 passengers and 222 crew members aboard MS Silver Cloud arrived 6 a.m. and were scheduled to tour the town and visit Shimba Hills National Reserve. The bulk of the tourists were from the UK, about 50 of them, and 49 of them coming from the United States. Now, the World Travel Award voted Mombasa port each year before the number nosedived with the following piracy attacks on the Somalia waters. Now, according to Mr. Ngeno, the Kenya Tourism Board Assistant Corporate Communication Manager, it stated that improved security in the Indian Ocean, where piracy attack took place and that had been eliminated, had led to the rise in cruise tourism.
That's very correct. It reminds me of the years before this year, where jobs have been cut. Thousands of people lost their jobs in the tourism industry in Kenya, especially in Mombasa.
Issue, yes.
Yeah, but now the situation is
coming back.
coming back, and
more good news. Wait, I have one more.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Well, not to forget, the African air travel spend is expected to rise by 24% with the introduction of the Pan-African passport in 2018. The new report revealed now that according to a new research released by the travel technology provider, the Sabri Corporation, the new passport will enable African travelers to be able to go around African countries without visas. Now, the travelers from the 4 countries, namely South Africa, Nigeria, Egypt, and Kenya, were surveyed, and with those who haven't flown in the past 24 months, saying that they would spend 24% more on traveling with the introduction of the passport. And when further asked what prevented them from traveling, they said the top reasons were 32% said traveling is too expensive, 21% said it's difficult obtaining visas, 30% said it is difficult to book travel, and 28% said there are no flights to their chosen destination. Well, this is really going to affect my trip. I mean, my schedule I would really love to go to the eastern part of Africa, the southern part of Africa. I've been to the north, but yeah, of course, I was born in the west, and here I am in Central Africa. So
je pense que vous finissez quand même là sur une très bonne note, une note d'espoir hein, pour la libre circulation des personnes à l'intérieur du continent africain. Je pense que c'est très intéressant pour le développement. I'm curious to know, where would you like to go with the EU passport?
Alors, vous me prenez là au dépourvu, j'ai pas du tout pensé à tout ça. Je penserais bien aller peut-être au Nigeria, pourquoi pas.
Maybe I'd like to go to Nigeria.
You're always welcome.
Okay.
And you?
Really, honestly, I haven't really thought of where I'd like to visit in
Seychelles,
Africa.
maybe?
Okay, yeah, Seychelles is a nice place.
Yeah, the beach.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Why not? Thank you very much,
Merci,
Afolake.
Afolake.
You're welcome.